that coconut oil has natural antibacterial properties in it. I tell families like you need to be moisturizing 4 to 6 times a day. Now, in reality, do people do that?
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Femme Health. Today, we are talking all things related to eczema with board certified allergist immunologist, Dr. Salima Thobani, and she practices in Southern California. And the first thing I want to ask you today is, we hear a lot about natural treatments for eczema. So I want to get your take on which natural oils are actually evidence-based, actually have some effectivity when it comes to treating eczema.
That's a great question because a lot of patients want more of that natural treatment. So before I make some recommendations, I think we have to go back to like, what is eczema, right? Everyone's like, it's dry skin. But really, the root of the problem is your body does not know how to trap moisture when you have eczema. So you have to externally hydrate the skin. So when we say, what's a good moisturizer has three components to it. One is that it adds water. It has to have a component that lets you absorb water. There's an emollient in it, and then there's something that traps water. It seals it, sorry. And so if it doesn't have all three, it's not going to work as well. So now when we talk about oils are interesting because they're actually great sealants, but they don't have all three properties. And I say, we're in the golden era of moisturizers now because there are so many out there that have all three properties. And I'm sure we've heard, CeraVe, Vanagram, I mean, the list goes on. But when it comes to oils, not all of them work the same. The most well-studied one is probably coconut oil. And the reason for that is for the longest time, we've seen patients come in and they're using coconut oil and their skin is actually getting better. And you're like, well, why is this? Because it doesn't have all three properties. Well, eczema skin actually gets colonized with Staph aureus. And there are studies that now prove to us that coconut oil has natural antibacterial properties in it. And so, coconut oil, if you're going to use an oil, is probably one that I would say is okay to use, but sequencing matters, right? So it's not actually adding water. Has great antibacterial properties and it's a great sealant. So if you're going to use it after your shower or bath, right? You've hydrated your skin, you've added moisture into it. I recommend tap drying your skin so you still have little droplets on it and then putting the oil on. Or use it after your moisturizer. That makes sense.
Okay. And how do you deal with sort of the sealing it in? Do you then follow the coconut oil with anything or you don't need to do that?
You don't need to do that. If you're going to use a moisturizer, like say, for example, I just gave my child a bath, I put CeraVe on it, you can put a moisturizer. So Vaseline is a good one. Vaseline is 100%, petroleum, which locks in. So it's like you've done all this work to moisturize your skin and now you want to make it last because as you probably know, eczema is like, if it's a full-time job hydrating the skin. Like I tell families, like you need to be moisturizing 4 to 6 times a day. Now, in reality, do people do that? Probably
Right.
not. So when you're adding in the sealant, you're allowing it to sort of last longer.
So practical question, because as a South Asian, I have been all about the coconut oil for many
Yeah,
years.
for other reasons too,
Yeah,
right? Like in your
right.
hair.
Yeah. And my mom being like, just put coconut oil on it. What do you do from a practical standpoint? Like you want to go now and like send your kid to school or like put their clothes on and their clothes are going to smell like coconut oil.
Yeah.
Like, I'm assuming this is a regimen that we do at night, or what's your recommendation from a practical standpoint?
Yeah, definitely at night. And the other moisturizers too that like Aqua, for example, like my niece had really bad eczema and we would put it on. My sister was like, but she looks like she's just all greasy, right? So I would stick to moisturizers that have all three, but are not going to make you all greasy or smelly like that. But if you're going to use coconut oil, definitely use it at night.